This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
I wanted to talk about something that I believed when I was young that I was triggered by because I was FaceTiming with my daughter while watching the football game. And she said, what even is a Buffalo Bill? Like, what is Buffalo Bills? What does that mean? And I remember my brother telling me when I was little that buffaloes were born with platypus-style bills, and then they'd eventually fall off. So that's why they called the Buffalo Bills. And I bet I believed it for 6, 7 years, until I was in my mid-teens.
This reminds me of that episode of Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey when they had their show and she was eating buffalo wings. And she's like, what part of the buffalo, where's the wing? And he's like, are you serious? And it was in that moment that he's like, we're not going to be together forever.
So we wanted to ask just something dumb you believed for a little bit too long. What do you got for us?
So I guess it was around the time when I was being potty trained. My sister would have to take me to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I had the biggest fear of falling in the toilet because she told me that everything in the toilet, when you flush it, goes into the ocean. So I thought that if I fell into the toilet, I would go into the ocean.
When I was growing up, my dad told me that horseradish was made out of horse belly button. As I got older, I started training horses, and I took a horse anatomy course.
Yeah.
And I came home, and I'm like, Dad, horses don't have belly buttons. And he's like, I know, they take them out for the horseradish.
I like that one a lot. What do you got for us, Lise?
I think it took me until I was about 21. So I had been driving, I got my learners right when I turned 14, got my driver's license the day I turned 16. So I had been driving for quite some time. And I just thought all my vehicles that I had owned, I went through a lot because I slam on the brakes and ruin transmissions. But I just thought all of them had really bad circulation and really bad air conditioning and heat options. And then I was with one of my girlfriends and we were filling up gas and we got back in the car now and she's like, I'm freezing. Why is it so cold in here? And I was like, I'm sorry. My heat and my air conditioning just don't work. And she realized that my little snowflake button was on. And she's like, well, you have the air conditioning running. And I was like, no, that's the defrost because it's like a snowflake. And she's like, no, that's air conditioning. So for years, I was ripping around Edmonton in minus 40 with my AC blowing and in the summer, not using my air conditioning. And I was blaming every vehicle I owned.
All right. I used to work with a girl. And when we were talking, I told her that my husband was going hunting. And she asked if he was going hunting for males or females. And I said, what? And I said, he's going hunting for deer. And she said, oh, so a female. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, well, deer are female and moose are male. And that's it. And I was like, no, those are different animals. And she said, no, you're wrong.
Wow. That would have been an easy one to win with the help of Google.
Yeah, it was pretty good. And she was like, oh my gosh, I can't even talk to you right now. And I had to walk away.
I thought Wendy's had a deal, 10 items for $1.89.
Yeah.
I thought you actually got 10 items for $1.89. So when I went through the drive-thru, I'm like, okay, so I'll have 5 French fries. And I was listing them off, and the guy was like, no, it's actually 1 item. And so then he said, would you still like all this? I'm like, yeah.
Because you were too embarrassed to tone it back to just 1 item, eh?
I wanted to duck down and drive through the drive-thru, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to own this. I'm going to eat all of it, too, and enjoy it.
Play 107.
It's National Compliment Day today, so we decided to just dish out some compliments. Seems pretty reasonable.
Okay. I'd like to compliment masks for hiding my really bad acne, even though they're probably what clogged my chin pores to begin with.
I'd like to compliment the trucker convoy, although I've never understood why more truckers don't do something like this on October 4th instead. A big 10-4, if you will.
That's good. I'd like to compliment Venus and Mercury for both being in retrograde at the exact same time. Wow, the universe is incredible. Except Venus in retrograde makes you feel clingy and Mercury makes you want to get away from your partner. Sounds perfectly normal.
It does, actually. I'd like to compliment you, Lisa. Even when feeling really ill, you're still doing the show from home. Just remind me to take a flamethrower to the microphone you're using when you're done.
It's because I get crippling anxiety and I'm filled with guilt if I don't go to work. So that's cool. I'd like to compliment arenas for not allowing food and drink inside. Some people are going out in the parking lot for a cigarette, and I'm going out for a bag of regular Lay's.
Well, I got bad news for you. You're not allowed to leave the rink either.
What?
Yeah, that's the rule. I remember that from when I was a smoker. They implemented that one. You can't leave for a dart anymore.
Oh.
So I guess you got to sneak in them chips.
Yep.
Go to the bathroom with the rest of the smokers.
Sleeve chips. Sleeve Mars bar.
Have some bathroom chips. All right, I'd like to compliment anyone who tried to chip away some ice this weekend, then after realizing how many layers of it were actually dealing with it, just said, screw it, let them slip.
I feel like that's a personal story. I looked outside the window and I was like, oh, only half the driveway's done.
Yeah, it was awful. There's 17 layers of ice there.
I'd like to compliment Machine Gun Kelly for getting Megan Fox an engagement ring that physically hurts if she tries to take it off. If that doesn't scream commitment and true love, then what does? Actually, talk to me when you vacuum without her needing to ask you first. Also, I like how I'm picturing them as a normal couple that argue over vacuuming, not a celebrity couple that have house cleaners.
And finally, I'd like to compliment the Oilers for at least letting us make fun of Flames fans when everyone else is making fun of us.
Yeah.
Feels good. Just redirect that. I'm rubber, you're glue. Have you ever bought something online by accident? 780-784-7107. The reason that I bring this up is a toddler accidentally purchased around $2,000 worth of things that the mom had put in the shopping cart, and then she was going to come back and like prioritize what they needed and like maybe buy one or two of the things, but the kid ended up playing with the phone and just scooping up everything. So they said that they were quite surprised when the delivery guy rolled in and he just had box after box after box of things or coming to their door.
There was a similar story of a toddler that did this on the iPad, and it was hundreds of boxes of cereal.
Yeah, maybe knew what he was doing.
Yeah, and it's interesting because kids are so intelligent. When they start to understand how to work an iPad and a phone, it is actually incredible and kind of terrifying to witness. But I could see this happening really easily because right now I'm working from home after testing positive for COVID, and I'm using your laptop to like open the text line and stuff. But I'm also, not going to lie, I'm bored. I'm in quarantine, so I've been online shopping a lot. And every time I go to checkout, it instantly asks me if I want to use your credit card because you must have saved it to your computer. So
yeah, on my computer,
easy.
That's reasonable, isn't it?
Yeah. It would be really easy for me to just use your credit card without them actually needing to know who it is that's using the computer.
Okay. Are you about to admit something?
No, but I do feel like you're the type of person that just pays bills and you don't actually look into what you bought. So it would be easy.
Other than like you're ratting yourself out though. Like now I'm definitely going to be checking. You could have got away with this for sure.
I tried to buy an espresso on my phone and I could have sworn it even said, yeah, Nespresso is on its way and there could be a delay because it was coming from Vancouver and with all the floods and the road closures. And I was like, that's cool. And I even made a point to write it in my girlfriend's group chat. I was like, I just brought an espresso. I'm so excited. It was on sale. I even like picked out all the different flavors of coffee because it offered up like 50 free pods. And it hasn't shown up. There's been no charge on my credit card. I never got an email confirmation. But was this a fever dream? Did I make it up? But even my girlfriends are like, no, you wrote us about it like 2 months ago.
As we're talking about things you accidentally bought, I love that you got a story about something you accidentally didn't buy.
I don't know if I bought it. So I'm like, should I get another one? Will two of them show up? And my girlfriend ordered one online. She's like, yeah, they don't charge you until it's on its way. So now I'm just over here drinking crappy coffee, just thinking like maybe it's going to show up. So Julia Fox is saying she's not dating Kanye West for the clout or the attention, but they are making public appearances and wearing the most insane outfits. There's this one where they're both wearing leather head to toe. They look like it's a scene out of The Matrix. He's wearing what looks to be like whited out eye contacts.
Yeah.
Every time I look at him, I'm like, this guy's a dad.
Super strange. I have a 10-year-old, and she gets embarrassed when I wear, like, colorful shoes. She's like, really? You're going to go with those ones today? Like, yeah, they're nice shoes.
You think of celebrities, and then you realize that they're family people. Like, they have a family at home.
I'm just looking right now. Megan Fox, another one. She's got a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 9-year-old. Can you imagine? They're like, Mom, were you drinking MGK's blood?
Dad, or like, Mom, honestly, like, I can see your crotch through your dress. Stop.
Yeah.
Also, are we calling our new stepdad machine?
We're joined by Jennifer from Discover Coding. Tell us what kids who attend one of your programs will learn.
How to code, how to problem solve, how to think of the world in a different way that's not quite taught in school. And that's just natural draw to technology. And it's just so empowering. And the video games that they see and play, now they turn it around and get them to start creating their own games. And they're so creative. So we'll have winter programs, and then we'll have spring programs in summer and fall. So that's how we kind of break it up. Each course is about 10 weeks.
You have some PD Day camps happening January 31st, March 3rd and 4th. Also, there are courses where kids can learn how to create their own app that they can then show their friends and family. A lot of fun stuff. Where can people find out more?
Discovercoding.ca.
I bet you built your own website.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, we do. And you can also come and learn to do that too. So.
Awesome.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.